Hey, what's going on guys? Christos here and welcome back for another video. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different in this video today. Normally this channel is all about making money online through mainly Amazon FBA and reselling, but today I'm actually going to be talking about how I spend my profits. So every single month, all of the money that comes into my account, whether it's from my Amazon FBA business, whether it's from my full-time job, whether it's from my YouTube channel, or any of the other income streams, it comes all into my personal accounts once all the tax and all of that kind of boring stuff has been taken off and accounted for. And then what I actually do is I split it up into 5 different ways of saving money, and I'm going to be sharing with you in this video exactly how I do that. And the great thing is, it doesn't actually, to be able to do this, it doesn't actually matter how much money you earn. So you could be earning £1,000 a month, you could be earning £100,000 a month if you're really lucky. I certainly wish I would be earning that, but it doesn't matter how much money you have, because the reason why is it's all split into different percentages, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. But first things first, make sure you hit that like button, because it really does help this video out with the YouTube algorithm and gets this video out to more people so more people can discover this kind of content. But yeah, I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get into how I divide and spend my money. Okay, so let's get into the first thing that I do. So let's just put ourselves in a scenario that we've just been paid from whatever income stream that we have. And the first thing that I do is I take 50% of that and I just put it straight into a separate account to cover my bills. So how did I come up with 50% for my bills? Basically, in my personal experience, I've been playing around with this number for a couple of years now, and I personally believe that if you are having to spend more than 50% on your bills, then you are personally living above your means. So your bills being maybe your rent or your mortgage for your property, your fuel for your car, your food, your electricity bills, and all of that. I take 50% of that and I just put that aside into one account which I won't touch, and that will just cover my bills every single month. Okay, so once we have got the bills out of the way and all of that boring stuff, what I will then do is take 20% of the money that comes into my account and I will move that into my long-term investments account. So basically the company that I use for this is a company called Hargreaves Lansdown. I believe they are the leading UK provider for kind of investments and stock dealing and stuff like that. Not sure what it's like in the US, and basically I send 20% of my money into that account, and then on that account I have an instruction set up to invest automatically a set amount into a couple of index funds. So if you didn't know what index funds are, basically it's a collection of stocks in one fund. I'm not going to get too much into index funds in this video, but if you did want me to make a video explaining what it was, I would be more than happy to do that, so make sure you let me know down below. But basically I will invest monthly into these index funds, and every single bit of money that goes into this account will be looked at with a completely long-term perspective. So I have no intention of taking any money out of this account for the next 15 to 20 years. So that's why I only put a small proportion into this, because I want to be spending money that I know that I can live without into this account, and hopefully over time it will grow and the interest will grow and I'll earn more money from it. But basically sometimes I'll be buying the shares at a cheaper cost, sometimes I'll be buying the shares at a higher cost, but over the long run it should level itself out and bring me some nice returns. So what I will do after that, and after I've invested that money into longer term investments, is I will take just 5% of the income that comes into my account and I will put that into more riskier investments. So instead of going with index funds and investments with a little bit less risk, let's say, what I will actually do is invest in individual stocks, which I have done my research on. So a couple of the stocks that I'm invested in at the moment is Apple, I'm invested in Facebook and Uber, and I'm also invested in Coca-Cola, because we all know I love my fizzy drinks. And another thing that I'm invested in, and not too much at the moment, is cryptocurrencies. I've got a little bit of money that I've put in there, which I will just leave there for the entirety. But once again, even though these are riskier investments, I still have a completely long-term approach with this. So I'm talking around 10, 15, maybe even 20 years, I'll be looking at even just taking the money out for the first time. So that's what I'll do with 5%. It'll go towards riskier investments. To summarize there, if you take the 20% of the money that I put towards my longer term investments, and then you take the 5% that I'm putting towards my more riskier type investments, so like the individual stocks, that's a total of 25% that I'm putting towards building my financial freedom. So that's just something that I'm really passionate about. I believe in fully. You may not believe in kind of putting that much money towards building your financial freedom, or you may not believe in investing in stocks as much. That's just my opinion, but I can tell you the one that I think we'll both agree on, and that is that I put 20% after that into what I call my fun account. So what is the fun account for me? So I have a separate card, which is a pay-as-you-go card, which I use for a company called Monzo, and basically I'll put 20% of the money that I earn every single month into my fun account. I personally believe that if you're not having fun every single month and you are like saving like a madman, then there's pretty much no point in doing it. You have to live. So in my fun account, that would be used for kind of meals out, going to the cinema, going bowling, maybe buying myself some clothes. It can be anything that's kind of leisure related and stuff like that. But the key thing is that I put 20% in that account, and when it's gone, it's gone. So that's the key thing. But yeah, 20% of my money that comes into my account goes straight into that fun account. If I spend it all halfway through the month, then that's tough luck. I can't go out anymore that month. I've spent my monthly allowance, but let's say if I didn't go out as much and I had some left over, then that can carry over to the next month, and maybe I could go out a little bit more. So it works kind of both ways, but really important to make sure that you do that and actually make sure that you live a little bit as well, and don't get sucked up into saving every single penny that you earn. So hopefully, if I've worked that out right, we're sitting at 95% of money that comes into my account I've spent so far, which leaves us just 5% to spend every single month. And what I use this 5% for is my own personal education. So I'm a massive believer in investing in yourself. I believe that everyone should be investing in themselves, continuously improving the way that they live and the knowledge that they know. And I just set around 5% every single month just to be able to put aside in case I need to pay for anything. So last month I actually paid for a private label course. It was a really cheap one because I wanted to learn a bit more about private labels. So and I've also invested in a couple of books last month as well. But that's what the 5% really goes towards. If you want to invest in books, maybe a course, a seminar, or something like that, I always believe just putting 5% every month for your education, and it will definitely help you out in the long run. So just to summarize, I'm taking 50% of the money that comes into my account every single month, and I'm putting that aside to cover all of my bills and all of my expenses. I'm taking 20% of that money to spend on longer term and safer investments. I'm taking 5% of that money and I'm putting that towards more risky investments, so talking about my individual stocks. I'm taking 20% of that money and I'm going out and having some fun, and then I'm finally spending the last 5% on my own personal growth and my education. So that's what I do, guys. Just one quick note, I did mention about what I kind of incomes that I have that come into my account. With my Amazon account, I'm currently fully reinvesting into my Amazon account. So any money I make from selling products, that's being fully reinvested to buying more products. So I'm mainly kind of doing this with my full-time job, my YouTube, my affiliate incomes, and then a couple of other income streams that I have as well, which I don't really talk about too much. But yeah, I hope you found some value from this video, guys. Like I said, I think it's really important that you manage your money, whether you're into investing or whether you're not. I think you should definitely be kind of managing your money in some way or another. It's definitely helped me. I used to be really paranoid about not being able to pay my bills and stuff like that, and just doing it this way takes a lot of stress from that aspect of my life. So if you did get some value from it, please drop me a like. If you had any questions about the way that I do things, then leave that in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I shall catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.